According to AAA, nationally gas is lower this Memorial Day weekend versus last Memorial Day weekend, but less drivers are still expected to be. Valued at $1 million, this emergency response equipment was acquired at virtually no cost through the federal surplus property program. And with hurricane season just a month and a half away, training efforts will be revving up here. This trailblazing piece of technology could potentially change the way you hear and feel incoming calls. In a couple years, you can go from hearing this ring to feeling this vibrate. According to Chef Beggs, the best way to beef up your 4th of July burger is to add some filling. Whether it's salsa or blue cheese, the best way to beef up your burger is to think outside the box for great results inside the bun. This grant will reward the Asbury United Methodist Church with $30,000 over a 3-year time span, granting this church the opportunity to launch community outreach programs. Now, if you take a look behind me, you can see the home that was affected by the carbon monoxide leak. And according to fire officials, the leak began below this garage, underground, and then made its way upstairs, poisoning the sleeping family of 4. With Skittles in their hand and hoods over their heads, UMES students stood in this courtyard to remember the life of Trayvon Martin and learn from his tragedy. With over 2,500 guns collected, officials say that this is the second largest gun buyback in the state. Guns ranging from this Tech 9 to this sawed-off shotgun are just a few of the firearms that were taken off the streets. So if you want to beat those Valentine's Day blues, get out and get active. Go to the park and take a walk, or simply sit back and enjoy the scenery. Marquis. Transportation business owners like Rosenberg say that there isn't too much that they can do to increase revenue due to all of the regulations. However, they do plan on putting more fuel-efficient vehicles on the road, like these jitneys, to help with the pain at the pump. Opposers of this recommendation say that this law could criminalize perfectly responsible behavior, and it wouldn't deter heavy drinkers from getting behind the wheel. However, this may be a long fight because the last time the BAC was changed from 0.1 to 0.08, it took nearly 2 decades. Reporting in Linwood, Marquis Lupton, News Channel 40, NBC. Sandra Talaferro has been living in the South Inlet section of Atlantic City for over a decade.
And I'm angry, I'm mad, and I'm angry because you're displacing me. I'm a resident, I'm a voter, I'm a mother and a grandmother. You have no right to do this. Now she, along with dozens of others, may have to find a new home after getting what she is calling an unexpected eviction notice from the CRDA, with only 90 days to find a new home.
I've been out every day walking and riding buses trying to find something. It's hard.
I think people are being taken advantage of. It's not fair. All for what? For a casino to make $1? That's crazy.
Many of these residents say they were given different reasons for being asked to leave and are now asking for help.
Please, please, be fair with us. You know, we're not trash. We're people. We're human beings, just like you are.
Where are the people that we elected to look after us, to look out for us? Where are these people at?
You say we eyesores, you want us out the way? Build us something back on the north side. Build up the north side. We'll gladly trade places. I don't have any problem with moving.
Those that don't mind moving want to be treated with more respect.
But just give us enough time to find a decent place where it's not in the violence. You know, that I don't want to go where the violence is.
Let these government officials tell it. It's the quote-unquote right thing to do. It's for the city. The money is for the city. We are the city. We the people are the city, not these casinos. We are the city.
NBC 40 reached out to the CRDA Deputy Executive Director Susan Thompson on the issue. She says the CRDA has in fact been working with the residents, saying, quote, "The CRDA has historically made every effort to accommodate the unique needs of each resident with respect and consideration, and that is how we will continue to move through this process." In Atlantic City, Marquis Lupton, News Channel 40, NBC.
I really can't believe it, because I left this morning, everything was peace and quiet. And then I go to work and try to make a living and get through the party today, and then you get a phone call like that, you don't know which way to go.
The phone call Thelma Bryant is referring to was the call she received from her neighbors notifying her home is in flames.
I got home and this is what happened. This is it. This is it right here. It's like, oh my God. I said, here I go. Oh my God, I never had that happen to me. I was like stunned. I was shocked. You know, I didn't know what to do.
At around 11:51 a.m., the Pleasantville Fire Department received a call of multiple condos engulfed in flames on Crescent Avenue. But this call was not your traditional emergency call, since this call was made by one of their own who happened to be off duty.
I was driving down the street and I noticed some smoke in the air. Didn't really think too much of it, trying to play it off that it really wasn't a house fire. And came up a little further down the street and saw that Crescent Avenue Apartments was fully involved in the front half of the building.
Which is when Raymond jumped into action, making the emergency call and helping a man and his 2 kids out of harm's way.
As I came around the back of the building, I noticed somebody with his 2 kids jumping out of the window. He got out on his own. You know, I assisted him around front.
If you take a look behind me, you can see the aftermath of the fire. And since the structure has been deemed unsafe, residents like Thelma Bryant, who have been living here for over 2 decades, are left with picking up what the fire has burned down.
It's just a nightmare. You know, you don't know which way to turn sometime.
Red Cross has put Bryant and other victims in hotels for the weekend and will be assisting them in their road to recovery. And as for Bryant, well, she plans on standing tall.
Just have to rebuild, stay strong. You know, had to take one day at a time.
In Pleasantville, Marquis Lupton, News Channel 40, NBC.
Thanks for joining us at WMDT 47 News. If you miss any of the phone numbers or web links from tonight's show, you can find them on our website at WMDT.com. Now to the bloodbath on Wall Street. The Dow rang its worst performance of the year Friday, falling nearly 275 points. Dave Curley has the latest. And in Milford, police arrest a woman suspected of burglarizing the home of 55-year-old Dawn Noble, who died earlier this week after getting hit by a tractor trailer. And former Egyptian President Hosni Mubarak has been sentenced to life in prison for his role in the killing of protesters during last year's uprising.